The World Devastators are raining destruction on the peaceful world of Mon Calamari. Fly as Wedge Antilles and battle against all odds to stop their evil conquest.
Alright, so this mission actually, folks, is the 16th mission of Star Wars Rogue Squadron, and the first mission that is not connected directly to the others via storyline. This one actually leaps forward quite a few years till after the Empire has been defeated after the events of Return of the Jedi, to a time where Luke has retired from Rogue Squadron. Obviously, he's become a Jedi now, and Wedge is leading the squadron. This mission is adapted from the storyline of a comic book called Dark Empire, where the Emperor comes back to life in a clone body. Yes, I know, it's retarded. It was a comic book in the 90s. What do you expect? But the Emperor's clone has these weapons called the World Devastators that basically they're gigantic forges where they suck up stuff from the world, things like ore from mountains, buildings, everything like that, and process them and then turn them into weapons, like droid TIE fighters and things like that. Kind of retarded concept, but still a potentially cool mission if they do it right. Let's go and take a look. And we've got a brand new ship to fly. Let's get our introduction from General Riken.
This is a new craft, fast, light, and unpredictable. The V-Wing carries 2 blaster cannons which can be fired at a normal rate or in the rapid-fire position. Rapid fire is useful for strafing ground targets, but it overloads the cooling units and can often cause a complete burnout. In addition, the thrust engines have been modified to supply an incredible amount of power over a short distance. These are generally used to evacuate a pilot from a dangerous area, as the V-Wing carries no shields and very little armament. That said, the V-Wing is extremely nimble and stealthy, and is an even match for most adversaries.
Alright, so the V-Wing is actually a speeder craft, like the snow speeders we have been using, only instead of just being armed with 2 blasters and a tow cable, the V-Wing is armed with 2 blasters and missiles. Yes, the cluster missile upgrade that we just got in the last mission on Thifera is actually for the V-Wing. See down at the bottom there, secret cluster missiles? That's what makes the V-Wing possibly the easiest thing to get gold medals for in this game. If I were to go back and try to get gold medal ranks at a lot of the missions that we had trouble with before, missions like, well, actually for a lot of the missions that are the hardest, you can't use anything but vehicle-specific specific vehicles, like Y-Wings on Sullust. But the V-Wing itself, very good craft, one of the best in the game. Let's go ahead and take it out for a spin. Kind of looks a little dumb, but hey, what are you going to do? It does have 2 unique things that we're going to be getting into as the mission starts. You heard Riken mention them, but I want to go over how they work in the game mechanics itself. Looks like we've got a title crawl as well, which will sort of explain sort of what I did before the mission started about the fact that this is taken from something much later in the timeline called Dark Empire, as opposed to in between some of the movies. So yeah, 6 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. So the Rebel Alliance has managed to control 3/4 of the galaxy. They formed the New Republic at this point. Darth Vader is dead. It says mysterious new leader. Spoilers, it's the Emperor in a clone body, or just a clone Emperor who's gone insane and thinks he's the real one. It's up for debate. World Devastators, powerful and unstoppable than a Death Star. No, they're not. They are punks. Ravage entire planets, whatever. Rogue Squadron, now commanded by Wedge Antilles, persist through mounting daring missions. See, that's a bit of... For something as obscure as this mission to be taken from, the fact that they got a bit of continuity wrong kind of irks me. And the fact that Wedge wasn't leading Rogue Squadron at this point. He'd been promoted again from squad commander up to general and was taking command of the entire battle, not flying in a V-Wing like we're going to see here. And in fact, come to think of it, I don't think V-Wings were even at this battle. I think they were flying E-Wings, which were just X-Wings with the top 2 wings chopped off. And V-Wings can't fly in space either.
Commander Wedge Antilles of Rogue Squadron. We are coming to your assistance. Sir, the Devastators are getting close to the city.
Alright, so this mission, fairly easy. You can see that the V-Wing is incredibly fast. By pressing A, you can just fly. Also, its lasers, just... Here, once we get close, I'll show you what the lasers do. But basically, you can fire them normal tandem mode. Just shoot, shot, 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 like this. And then, whoop, let's go ahead and use our cluster missiles here. Yeah, see, that's the thing about the V-Wing, is that for as awesome as it is, for as fast and everything as it is, it's even worse than the A-Wing in terms of defense. So if you don't take the enemy out fast, then you're going to die. And you're going to die quite horribly, I might add. So basically, you're going to use the same tactics that you use with the A-Wing. Dart in, blow stuff up, and dart out. This mission is not that good, because unlike a lot of the other missions, you can't cheese it using the V-Wing. This mission is designed for the V-Wings to die in. So unless you're really careful, you're going to end up dying a lot. Thankfully, though, when it comes to dogfighting out here over the city, this is exactly what the V-Wing is pretty much designed for in this game. You can just cheese the dogfights just by firing off a couple of bursts of cluster missiles.
If we destroy the legs,
Alright, so we're dead. Like I said, this is a mission that you can start and end very, very quickly thanks to the overwhelming suckiness. I can't talk today. The overwhelming suckiness of the V-Wing's shields. Look at that. Yeah, not good. Alright, so there's one other feature of the V-Wing that I forgot to mention before. If you press right C, I believe it is, you hit your boosters, which basically propels your craft faster than any other craft in this game can possibly go, which means you can actually outrun missiles. Yeah, it's that fast. You can also press down C to link your lasers and then just blow stuff up.
This is Rogue 3. Sir, my R2 has found a weak spot. It's a shield generator on top. If we destroy it, we have a better chance of taking these things down.
Spine hit! Burnout on cannon 1. Burnout on cannon 2. Hold on, my blasters are still...
Alright, so a lot of bits there. After you link your lasers and fire rapid fire for a little bit, they have to recharge just like your booster engines are going to have to. There are 2 World Devastators for you to take down. The idea is to hit that little bulb on top there. That's the shield generator. You take that out, then you can take out the legs underneath. They do have both lasers and missile turrets underneath, or on top, I mean, but they don't have any defenses underneath aside from just strong shields. You're gonna want to use your lasers to take these out though, because your missiles aren't going to actually home in on the leg jets. They just kind of fly in a straight pattern.
Whoa, that got him! Whoa!
You only have to take out 2 of the leg jets at a time to bring a Devastator down. You don't have to take out all 4. And once they go down, all of their defenses and everything else have been knocked out too. So you're going to be up against TIE Ds here, which are TIE droid, which means that they will fly at and move at impossible angles. And they are so incredibly annoying if you don't have the cluster missiles at this point. Like I said, I believe there are 2 Devastators. There might be 3. I believe there's just 2 though that you have to take out. Your Seeker missiles are best used for taking out its defenses and everything, and then the TIEs, and then using your laser cannons to focus on the things that down there. Don't go down there; that'll blow you up. But yeah, basically you want to stay away from. Whoops. Yeah. Basically, you want to stay away from the you want to stay away from the droid fighters unless you have, yikes, unless you have your missiles, because otherwise they'll take you down pretty quick. Because the V-wings, for all of their agility, their shields are really not good, and they are not great dogfighters unless they have their secondary weapons available. They just do not have the
Rapid
firepower.
fire mode engaged.
Alright, and then there's some other enemies going to be swimming around in here called amphibians.
Fighters inbound on 17.28.
There's those
Burnout
right
on
there.
Cannon 1. Burnout on Cannon 2. Hold on, my blasters are still cooling.
These guys over here, these are called amphibians. They're basically amphibious assault craft that the Empire uses. They are not going to be attacking you. They'll try. Sometimes they'll try to attack some of the buildings on the shore, but they can't really do all that much damage. And the explosions from blowing them up cause a lot of system slowdown. So that's kind of fun if you like trying to break the game. Okay, so this is where.
Rapid fire mode engaged.
All right, so this is where cluster seeker missiles will make this a lot easier. You can just basically seek and destroy all of these ties at once. But since we don't have that, we're going to have to try to use our rapid fire. Whoops. Never mind. And you may have noticed something in the title screens that I didn't really touch on. Is that this mission actually takes place on Calamari or Mon Calamari or DAC, depending on what your level of EU nerdity is. Basically, DAC is the home planet of the Calamari people, which are Admiral Ackbar species. So all of those fish-headed guys you see in Return of the Jedi, as well as those great big awesome ships with the bulbs and everything that they have on in blisters and stuff on the sides, those come from this planet, and they are a hugely important part of the Alliance's war effort. So for the Empire to attack this place, of all places in this part at this point in the game, is pretty indicative of how bold they've gotten. Yeah, this isn't going well. This is one of those missions where, depending on your success and your failure in this mission, depends completely on how well you're able to handle these missile turrets. It's sort of like Sullust that way, that if you don't do well against the missile turrets, you're going to die, and you're going to die a lot, and you're going to die very, very quickly. So, yeah, it's basically that. It's basically that.
Help me out here.
There we go.
Let's take out the leg jet. If we destroy the legs, the Devastator has no propulsion.
Whoops. And then the Devastators, obviously their character models are very, you can just tell by looking at them that they're very limited by the N64's hardware.
Weapons malfunction.
The Devastators themselves in like the comics and everything don't look like this at all. They look much more deadly than just a gigantic block. There we go.
Hit your boosters.
So yeah, you want to use your Seeker Cluster missiles against the ties. Whoops. Looks like I got a trailer here. See, that's the thing. To counter the V-Wing's amazing agility at this point in the game, you know, look at how fast it can turn. They decided to give you an opponent craft that can turn at angles that no human would be able to withstand. Like literally, they are that crazy.
Rapid fire mode engaged.
Yeah, forget it.
More fighters inbound on 17.28.
Alright, so I've taken down both of the Devastators again. I'm probably going to die to the fighters, but I still have one other life left, so we're going to be okay. It's actually, I figured out it's fairly easy to cheese the rapid fire blaster mode if you just fire in quick bursts. It's so your blasters don't overheat. It actually has the best rate of fire of any ship in this game, standard ship, as far as I can recall. So, yep. Alright, so that means that now that I'm down, I get a full load of missiles back, so I can just proceed to do this.
Weapons malfunction.
Oh man, I love this game so much. I love this ship so much. I've been missing using it. You know, it's one of those things that once you get used to using it at some point, it's kind of hard to go back to using the regular craft ships. That's what I meant to say. Back to the regular things again. Alright, so I'm going to try to save some of my missiles for any more droid fighters that we're going to run into.
Rapid fire mode engaged.
There we go. Alright, so yeah, since we are playing as Wedge, you might hear some of his familiar voice clips about the damage he's taking and stuff like that. I figured out the easiest way to destroy these Devastators is to stay away behind them, and then
we stopped the Devastators. Now let's take out those ties.
And then get around behind them to where
Calamari isn't safe until those TIE fighters are destroyed.
Whoops. I completely wasted one burst of missiles there. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of TIE Ds coming in from behind at this point, so you want to wait until they actually appear and then take them out. You're also going to need to destroy these amphibians because the enemy count in this mission is about mediocre, but there aren't a lot of enemies for you to destroy since the Devastators only count as 1. So you're going to need to destroy pretty much everything yourself instead of letting your wingmen do it if you want to get the gold. Come on now. Gotcha. See what I mean about those explosions always slowing the thing down? I think we got them all, except maybe one. Yes, we just got one left. Look at him. Look at that thing. Look at him. No one can maneuver like that. And the thing about the V-Wing is that since it's a speeder, technically it's a very advanced speeder, but it is a speeder, so it can't fly upside down like a lot of the other ships can, so it's a little harder to dogfight. Alright, so that's one. Jeez, these things are all over the place. The TIE Ds, I don't like the design of the TIE Ds very much. I think they look way too square. They're basically like the design looks like halfway between the original TIE Fighters and the TIE Interceptors, which I don't think that's necessarily needed to be matched up. Just from an aesthetic standpoint, they just don't look good. But that's just me. I mean, they look different enough, I suppose. They look odd. They don't look like they should be flying the way that they're flying. And these guys do have some really intelligent AI. This is basically, since this is just a bonus mission at the very end of the game, this is the developers' excuses for coming up with the best AI that they could, and the fact that they're droid fighters, they can get away with it. I don't like this part of the mission. If you don't have, let's use our scramjets to get out of here. If you don't have cluster seeker missiles, these droid fighters are incredibly annoying to try to fight because, you know, obviously they're gonna swarm you and they'll dive around you and above you and below you and all kinds of crazy stuff. Gotcha. Whew, that was close.
They're gone. We've completely routed the World Devastators. We've taken a lot of damage, Rogues, but I want you to know, we saved another world from the Empire. We did well here today. Let's go home.
Except that's kind of not what happens. In the comic book, it takes some finagling by R2-D2 and Luke Skywalker working inside the Empire itself instead of... Yeah, it's not very faithful to what happens in the story itself. But hey, we got a bronze, so... yep, I'll be posting gold medals of this, obviously, soon enough, and I will see you guys next time on Let's Play Star Wars Rogue Squadron. We've actually still got some more missions left, believe it or not. I wonder what could be next. We'll find out. See y'all next time, folks. Good night.